Good morning. You just missed Terry and Stacy singing Down by the Riverside on our introduction to Caregiver Crossing. You may get a little bit in the background, but this is a podcast brought to you by Joyce House, presented in partnership with Cardon and Associates. We're happy you're here. Caregiver Crossing is a podcast created just for you, the caregiver. I'm Tina McIntosh. The singer is... Sing it. Sing your name.
I'm Terry Lynn Stacy from Hancock County.
You're so
in
talented.
Indiana. You are Tina McIntosh. She's
Wow.
a farmer in a very small way. Do you want me to keep going? Because I can.
Oh, I know you can. You're really good at this. No, what I want to do is I want to talk about some health concerns for seniors. You ready? Are you in?
I'm ready. Let's do
All right,
it.
here we go. So we talk about falls. We talk about hypothermia. We know that those are at the top of the list for concerns during these icy winter months. You know, winter's coming when we start talking about falls and hypothermia. But seniors are also at risk for some lesser known health hazards. I am going to, if I said SAD, do you know what that stands for, Terry?
I do, but that's because it's been a topic we've been talking about for a long time here in Caregiver Crossing. I do, but maybe some don't.
Yeah, seasonal affective disorder and vitamin D deficiency. Those both can have damaging effects on older adults, on all of us really, but particularly older adults' physical and mental health. This disorder affects, are you ready for this? 6.5 million people in the United States. 6.5 million people in the United States. So today's episode is dedicated to learning about the signs of these conditions, the treatments to ensure that your loved one has a happy and healthy winter, because that's really what we all want. So we're going to jump right in.
Yeah, if you're feeling a bit glum, and that may seem like an ordinary reaction to the fading glow of the holidays and the darker winter months, but when that feeling of sadness persists for more than a week or two, it's a red flag. And I know that may be a question, well, is this normal? Is this not normal? I think after about a week or two, they say to us, the professionals say to us, that's a red flag. There's a red flag there. And, listen, I think we all feel it. If you don't like winter and you don't like the darkness, some people do, but it can really affect you, and you don't even really realize that it is something.
Who likes
that this
it?
isn't normal.
I like winter, but the darkness, I can't even. I mean, the whole it's dark.
Yeah.
I heard somebody say the other day that around this time of the year it starts getting dark shortly before 5 o'clock.
That's right. And it just gets darker and darker until the winter solstice, and then the clock jumps back again to where we start to have longer daylight hours. But until then, I mean, it is gloomy, and you may not realize it. It really does affect you. It really does. I have lamps that I use to wake me up, and to also that simulates the sun rising. That can help me wake up.
You
I
do?
And it also, in the lamps, I have a lamp here at my office that simulates again daylight and sunlight, because we don't have so many sunny days sometimes. And
But you have a light that wakes you up, like in the morning, like
clock.
The light comes on as the
on
alarm?
your clock. It gradually gets brighter and brighter about a half an hour before. So your body, even though I'm not awake, my body is absorbing it and can feel it's simulating sunrise. And I think it's amazing. I think it does work.
I want one of those.
I wake up easier.
Do you remember years ago we talked about the benefits of the Himalayan salt lamps?
Which I still
and
have.
You and Candace.
Yes.
I do
We
too.
love 'em.
And Candace, one of our producers who was with us for a long time, left to go travel the world, and now she's back. And remember, we all just kept licking our salt lamps?
We did lick our salt lamps.
Now I have shot glasses that are made of Himalayan salt, but that's a whole different show. So let's stick with this one. Yeah, sorry about that. But the bright light therapy, I know that a lot of people do have those in their homes and in their offices. And so there's research on those that have shown that when you use it right, it can decrease the amount. Is it decrease or increase the amount of melatonin that you have? That's a hormone that's typically produced at night and causes drowsiness and
is it an increase?
Yeah, and being lethargic. So it's something that happens in your body, and it, neurotransmitters and blah, 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 blah. But I have heard that having that imbalance of the chemicals can really intensify the symptoms of depression. So those lights, but it has to be the right light. It's not like you just put in a 60-watt bulb and you go. I mean, it's a specific
light. At least that's what they're telling us.
Light
This could
therapy.
all be this really all could be just psychological. We think it's a great
What
light, and it's really,
yeah, you're
psychological.
right.
It's
I mean,
really
doctors would tell people to sit in front of those lights for 30 to 45 minutes a day, usually in the
yeah.
morning, so you can make up for that lack of sunlight that many people get during the winter. So, this is also different. This is what happens when Candace and Joy, our producers, give us a show where Terry and I get to talk about things.
Yeah.
But I think I've told you years and years. Well, when Jeff and I got married, so 22 plus years ago, I had poison ivy up my face, all over my chest, and all the way up my neck and up my face. And I did light therapy, a little different, but I did light therapy to get
Really?
rid of it. Lights are amazing. Like this, yeah, this was like, it looked like something from like 1934. And it was this big box machine with this like gank,
Yeah.
gank, gank handle on it. And they would turn it to the color that would counteract whatever you had going on. And so mine was red and, ooh, sorry, kind of pussy and gross. And like all the way up my neck. And
So
it
the
was going to
light
show in my
worked.
dress for my wedding. And I was like, do voodoo. Like, not really. I don't believe in
Yeah.
that. But, I was like, do whatever you got to do to get this gone. And so I went to somebody in Broad Ripple and she had light therapy and she put this little wand with red because I was inflamed on my neck. And
That's
after a few treatments, it was
amazing.
completely gone. So
Yeah.
it's amazing. And so, I hear this about this bright light therapy and I'm like, I should probably get these for my coworkers here
Nice
at Joy's
gift.
house.
It's a real thing, and if you can do that, I think it's for the good. I think they really do work. I really have a lot of faith in
Yeah.
light, and I also have a lot of faith in now understanding vitamin D deficiency and what it can be. I've loaded up on vitamin
Yes.
D. I'm doing an extra shot of vitamin D every day because I've learned so much about the negative health impact if you don't get enough vitamin D and the consequences. It can
And vitamin D is what we get from natural sunlight, right? Is that
Right,
what that
it
is?
is.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And so, particularly it's particularly dangerous for older adults if they're not getting enough vitamin D. And so, symptoms of vitamin D deficiency, they're a little subtle, but they can really include muscle and bone pain, which I was having, excessive fatigue, and depressed mood, depression. And so, seniors who don't get enough vitamin D, all of us who don't get enough vitamin D, are at an increased risk of developing osteoporosis, which you talked about, and a dangerous disease in bone density that can contribute to broken bones. But vitamin D, make sure you're getting enough vitamin D for you and the people that you love, no matter, regardless of what age.
Particularly during these months. Like my doctor had told me, hey, you can lighten up in the summer
Right.
because you're out more often in the sun. But I really appreciate having this segment because I took it out of my regimen um, because I take
Did
enough
you?
medications every day. But I need to bring it back now that it's winter. So, and also speaking of that, things you ingest, antidepressants, if it's really substantial, you need to talk with a medical professional. But, I guess my question is, why do older adults struggle with vitamin D deficiency? Is it just simply you're not getting outside as much in the winter, or like what's the cause of that? Do you know?
Well, that is a good point. And we just don't have enough daylight hours as much as we used to. And so for maybe you figure seniors perhaps that are particularly living in assisted living homes and places assisted living areas or at home. Like I've my neighbor, bless her heart, she does not go out at all in the winter. She's lives independently and she does now that we can have groceries delivered and everything delivered to your door, she does not go
Well,
out.
that
So we
is
were just talking about this with her and said, you got the sunlight. As much as we say, be careful of too much sun, you still need a little dose of sun. So we're making sure she's getting her vitamin D
Yeah.
for
Well,
sure.
and I do know that the National Institutes for Health, the NIH, has identified elderly people as an at-risk group for vitamin D deficiency. And they say that sometimes as seniors, we eliminate foods that are rich in vitamin D from our meal choices. I mean, let's be honest.
Oh,
For my
that's maybe
grandfather, if
true.
it wasn't those chocolate covered cherries, or a pipe, he was not going to put it inside of his body.
Did chocolate covered cherries and a pipe? Did you
Yeah,
say?
he wore a white t-shirt, sat in his recliner, he smoked a pipe, and he ate the
Oh,
chocolate covered
smoked his
cherries.
pipe and ate
At
his
least you
chocolate
always knew
cherry.
what to get him for Christmas. But yeah, so we eliminate a lot of foods as we
Oh,
get older, and so we don't get that in our diet. We're not moving, we're not converting food and absorbing the vitamin D period. But
Wait a minute, if I could
Yeah.
interrupt you, what is DN? Let's think about that
Mm,
for a minute. What is
hold on.
DN? Is it DN? We know it's in
It's in
milk,
milk. It's in
right? We
beef
know it's
liver. I
vitamin
know
D is
you
in
you eat a
milk.
lot of you love your liver and onions. Candace, don't make that
I
face.
do-
You guys are going to come over. I'm going to make you liver and onions for dinner. I always hated, I could tell my parents were making liver and onions when I walked in the house. And I was like, I'm
Because
out.
of the
Like, I'm going to
smell?
walk to McDonald's as a kid. I would rather have McDonald's over liver. That's disgusting.
So that's where you find a lot of
Well,
D
you
is
do,
in
but
your
there are other
liver.
places like egg yolks and cheeses,
Oh,
fatty
okay.
fish. That's why they're always telling us to eat fatty fish like salmon and things like that.
Salmon,
So
right?
it's in a lot of things, and you can find it in a lot of your dairy products too, and some juices. Um, so that's where you can find
Okay.
it.
Now, wait, here's another question. Here's another medical question
No,
I'm going to
because
ask
I'm
you.
a doctor.
How much vitamin D should we
I'm not a
have?
doctor. You should have as much as on the side of your
I
juice.
called the
It
wrong
tells you
show.
what percentage. I'm drinking a Bolt House Farms. Feel free to contact us for sponsorship. Bolt House Farms Daily Greens, and I got no. This gets me 0%, so I cannot answer your question.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at right now
What the
my
what did you
pumpkin
just
spice
say?
special K on the side of the box. Vitamin D, 2 milligrams, 42 milligrams, 20%. I'm getting 20% if I use 3/4 cup skim milk. I'll get 20% of my vitamin D.
Ladies and gentlemen, just hold tight. This is the part. This is the part where Terry Stacy is going to take us through percentages and math. I'm going to pretend to
I'm
follow
done.
all of
I'm
it.
out. That was it.
Well, I'm glad we had this conversation. I'm also glad that Terry's microphone, I wish you could all see it because it looks like she is holding a hair dryer to her mouth. It's been very confusing for this
Are
entire
we done?
segment.
Are you
If
is
you'd
it
like to
over?
know if you'd like to know more about Pumpkin Spice Special K, about Bolt House Farms Daily Greens, or Harry's microphone, or anything that might actually be related to caregiving, you can email me at tina@choicehouse.org. And then, Terry, if you would thank our kind
Okay.
sponsor, that would be
Oh, it's
great.
Cardon and Associates. We really love them. Caregiver Crossing, sponsored and supported by Cardon and Associates. 20 communities owned, operated, or managed here in the Midwest, and more than 40 years of senior living experience. Cardon and Associates, providing residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Until next time, Tina McIntosh and all of us want to say thank you. Take good care of each other. We'll talk to you next time on Caregiver Crossing.